And the moment we've all been waiting for. Here it is, the Angry Birds space. Well, actually, doesn't it sort of look like one of the piggies in Angry Birds? You know, the nose there and a snout, and you have the eyes and everything. Oh, that's what I think it looks like anyway. But it's the bestest Angry Birds Horde base ever. So the response to last week's best Horde base ever was amazing. It's probably my best video so far. Everyone seemed to love it and had a lot of feedback as well. So I will be walking through the base and show you how it's built up inside and how it works. I will of course also show it against a few zombies, hordes of zombies, and a nice big Blood Moon horde. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed this base, please subscribe. If only half of you subscribed, I would be at 50,000 subs in no time. And of course, follow me on Twitter. If you're a gamer, I definitely follow you back. And I present to you the better than the best horde base ever. Wait, oh yeah, I haven't built it yet. Alright, hold on a moment. Here we are. Almost done. Okay, we have a big hole, which is really important. First part done. First opening done. Status check, we're coming along. So I have, and this is not fully symmetrical, so let's get this one up. I have the walls, obviously, to block zombies coming in there. I have a 6 wide, and these are half plates, very important. Coming up to the ramps. Each side of the ramp I have arrow slits, really important as well, because the dart traps are going to be behind. Then I have one block here, and the poles are on the inside block. I am going to double up, but don't do that yet because you put them in the wrong place and your blade traps will not be able to be placed. So do that later. For now, just one layer here. And of course, you can make this too high. Not a problem as well. Not a problem if you place them properly. Okay, so this is the part that people often have some questions about how to do it. So I don't have a generator yet, so I'm just going to put down a switch that works almost as well. And here I am going to make sure I put down my dart traps. And of course, they have to make sure that they are facing that way. Okay, like this, because you want them to fire like you see this way right in front. So I'm connecting them like that. And I'm going to do the same thing here. 2 of them. So 2 dart traps on each side. I'm going to put behind here as well. I'm just going to show you how to connect it. Behind, we have a tripwire there. And we have a tripwire there. We also have an electric fence there. And we have an electric fence there. So if you see how that looks, dart trap right behind the electric fence. Sorry, right behind the arrow slit. Behind that, we have the tripwire and the electric fence. And as you can see, 6 in between. So these ones are 8, these ones are 10, these ones are 12. So all should be able to connect. So let's start with connecting things. From the switch, and of course we need to get a generator, but this just to show how it is. We connect the first tripwire. This tripwire then goes across to this one. And if you go too far like this, you'll see that it goes red and then you can connect. To make sure you don't do that. So this one, just fine. Now, if this one now is triggered, and of course there's electricity, current is going to flow. So we're going to connect this one to this dart trap because we want it to fire, and we're going to connect it to this dart trap. Really good. This dart trap we're just going to connect straight over here. And this one we're going to connect straight over here. Now later on I'm probably going to hide a relay up here, but this is just so you see how it's connected. What do we do with the electric fence? Well, we take from this tripwire post, go to this electric fence. Now you right click on this one and you go until you get an angle here and you right click, and now you see it's nicely connected. You saw, no problem. You just have to make sure you have an angle on them. Of course, you can move a little bit closer if you want to. If you go too far, let me try this again. This one, if I go too, well, even here, I have a pretty good sight line. You don't have to go all the way up. As long as you can see it and your wire is not red, it's just fine. So now actually all these are connected. You have the switch, tripwire, tripwire, tripwire to all the dart traps, tripwire to fence, fence across, and that's exactly what you want. And I'm just going to double up for the other dart trap, which is going to be just here. Same thing with the tripwires, of course. Don't close it up because it's a little bit easier to do from this side rather than doing from the inside because you have a really bad angle. Okay, so hooking up the blade traps, and again, if you see, I put them basically, well, on this height so that it's on your face height when you walk up here. The reason you want to have a ramp so they walk up is because if it's the same height as the zombie head, they will see it as an obstruction and they will bash it. And of course, they'll take it out. So we don't want that. So you want it to actually start when, well, the outside one is triggered. So we're going to do this one, connect to here, and this one to connect to here. And like I mentioned last time, I also give it a couple of seconds, let's say 3 seconds after it's been triggered so that it keeps on spinning. And let's see if I can do this here. And it's not working. Didn't I connect things properly? Ah, of course. I don't have any electricity. That's really interesting. There's no electricity here, but it's still firing. Oh, that's weird. I wonder if it damaged it. No, it does say I get shocked. That's a bug, the fun pimps. And no, they don't take any damage. So at least you can test that it's all there. Even though there's no electricity, you do get the slow buff. Interesting. Regardless, you see, this is how the setup is. And I'm going to start filling up a little bit up here as well. And this is going to be, obviously, the walls where you want to make sure that the zombies don't get in. That you don't want them to get in sideways. So this is all nice and well, but this is exactly the same as last time. I mean, it's slightly different colors and everything, but essentially it's the same. So how do we deal with the Demolishers? And let me show you a trick. So for the entrance, we're going to put water, and I have thus, let me take this one out because it's one too low. I have the ramp up and then I have a pole, so that should hold the water back. And let's see if I can get that up and running. Yep. Oh, here it is. Nice. You can do this using buckets. Buckets are a little bit more painful to do, unfortunately, because you have to go and grab new ones all the time. So I'm doing it using these water blocks, but essentially the same thing work. And I can show that. Bucket. Get a couple of buckets. So I right click and nothing happens. Okay, there it went. Let's take another one. Alright, see, works just fine. It's just a little bit more tedious. Okay, so now I have water here, and the reason for the water is to slow down the zombies. They are going to be slower as they run through here. They will get, as you see here, if I... Oh, I can't even get up here again. Oh, let me out. Right. When they come running here, they will get in a little bit, and then they will be slowed down. Which is what you want. But we're gonna want to slow them down even more. So we're going to put down, let me see, make sure I get this the correct. So their feet is down here, their body is here, and the Demolisher head is going to be there. So let me put another one here and one there. And we are going to connect that with a switch, but hold on a moment. We'll connect this one to over here, and let's see if I walk through it. Nothing happens. Right, we're going to put down some tripwires here. So let's hook up the tripwire. Same as we did before. Here to here. Here to here. And this one to this one. Okay. So I connected a generator. I don't know why these ones are triggering even when there's no electricity, but fine. So if I walk here normally, which is so slow, I will be just fine because I walk under them. Most zombies, except one, actually are too small in order to trigger it. So what happens if we then trigger the Demolisher? And let me get my correct gun here so that I don't end up... Right, come on. Walk over here. He should actually trigger it because he's tall enough and his head... Oh, as you can see, his head will trigger it, which is exactly what we want to have. If I take another zombie... Let me do, let's say, do this one. Come on. Come here. Yeah. I know you're a little bit slow, but come on. It's going to be a nice bath here. He walks up, he comes here, and you see he's passing underneath, which is what we want. It only triggers on the Demolisher. So what do? Well, of course, we put in some blade traps so that whenever it's triggered, they'll start swinging. So we're connected to the tripwires here, to this blade trap, and this tripwire also to this blade trap. So if I bring in let's get another Hawaiian Feral. Right, come on, run over here. He should not be triggering it. Oh, he does. Oh, it triggers the tripwire, obviously, because the tripwire is down here. I probably should move this one up just to make it better, because otherwise they'll start swinging where they don't have to. But let's get in a Demolisher. You saw that did not get hit. This one, he should be running up here. And there you see. He will take the electricity buzz and he will hit by the blade traps. Now, what could happen, though, if you're really unlucky, is that, well, it hits him in the chest and it sets things off. So we want to prevent him from going on the side here, because we want him to go just in a nice straight line. And how do we accomplish the zombies walking in a straight line? Of course, we block them off. We make sure that they always come. Of course, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one, but that they will come here. So I will block off so that the zombies always will go straight through here. And one of the things that was happening last time as well, during the previous one, is that I had issues with cops from a distance actually spitting or vomiting, and that was causing some issues. So what we're going to do as well, we're going to just simply do a very small little block off here as well, so that the zombies, see, 1, 1, 1, yep, like this. We'll have a little bit of a wall here. It does mean that they will filter in from this side, and they will filter in from this side, and then they will continue here. Let's close off here. Let's close off here. So they will be right here, and they won't necessarily come here, but they'll be going. Oh, ouch. They'll be walking here, and I'm gonna have to shift those tripwires up one step. Okay, nicely done. I've switched up the tripwires, so let's bring in a Demolisher. Yep. Let's see here. He should be coming in. If he can find his way. Yep, he's coming in here. He should hopefully be triggering everything. Yep, he does. I forgot to turn. Alright, that's fine. I forgot actually to hook up the blade trap, so that's fine. That's easily done. But you saw he hit the tripwire, he hit the electric fence, and he's coming. It's a nice straight line. And any cops that are too far behind, they won't be able to vomit at us, because they will only be able to do that once they get through here. And of course, they could vomit, once they get through here, but that's unavoidable. They will see you at some point, unless you make this really short. But we want to have it long, because I want to replicate this. One is not enough to kill the Demolishers, so I'm going to put in a few more. It's going to be done exactly the same. The base is ready. No, not quite. From the outside, of course, it is fairly ugly because, well, we haven't done anything to beautify, but they will be coming here. They'll be walking around here, and they'll go up this ramp, and they'll fall down into this water. Once they're walking in the water, they'll be really slow, which is what you want, because it allows you to deal more damage than from afar, and you can identify the Demolishers. It's mostly the Demolishers that you want to take care of by slowing them down. And this one has some spilled water, which we don't want. Once they get up here, and of course the Demolisher will hit their head on the tripwires here, they'll get electrocuted, which does some damage, but most of our will take damage from the blade traps. And there are a triple setup, 1, 2, 3. So hopefully by the time they get up here, they're almost dead, if they're not already dead. Other zombies, and of course they will just walk underneath, and they'll get up here and they'll die just like, well, they did in the previous version of this base. So we talked about doubling up the poles here, and this is why you want to do this, well, towards the end. So let's do advanced. Let's get them turned the right way. Right. So you see here, because there's nothing at the bottom, I can actually double them up. Now I cannot do that one higher, because you see the blade trap is actually 3 by 3, so it's blocking there. So I can only do it here. So I'm going to double up this one as well. One here, and then I'm going to just copy rotation, and which means that I'm going to have another here as well. In effect, we have doubled up such that and I showed that in the previous video, even if this one gets taken out, and this is the single one, only dogs and probably crawlers and spiders can get through here because the rest of the zombies cannot fit through between this one and this one. So you're really safe anyway. And doubled up, even with reinforced concrete, that is a nice 10,000 hit points. And if you upgrade them to steel, there'll be more. One problem with upgrading with steel is that you have to make sure that the path here isn't easier. So I'm gonna put in a lot more steel on the outside because I don't want them to go through here. You want them to go through here, and you also don't want them to go through, well, here or from the top. Of course, we also want to make sure that we have enough space behind here so that I can hide in case there's the Demolisher coming in and it's going to explode. That was something that you probably saw last time. I didn't have a lot of space, so the Demolisher killed me. So we're going to give myself, well, another 3 block here so that I can just pull back when I want to, just to get a little bit of cover. Maybe I'll just put up a sort of a makeshift cover as well that I can run behind. That would also work. So let me finish this up, and we'll see it in action. So let's get in here. So this is the way the zombies will go. They'll be coming on this side, and they'll be coming in here. We have some water. Now you see, I do have auditors behind, so I can switch on and off when the demolishers come. Also, you'll see these blade traps, and you see the tripwires and fences. They only trigger for Demolisher. It doesn't trigger for anything else. All the other zombies will be slowed down. They will make their way up here. And this is where it looks probably familiar if you saw last week's base, where I have the, let's see, quad dart traps on each side. I have these 2 blade traps and of course electric fences, and that's basically how it works. It shoots across. Did it shoot everything here? I'm gonna have to double check to make sure that top one is firing as well. Sometimes a little bit difficult to see when there's so many things happening, but anyway, so this is where, well, the magic happens, or maybe not really the magic, but let me get inside as well. Right, from the inside I have, as you can see, some more shotgun turrets here. Actually, not some more. I have shotgun turrets here. I have auto turrets in the back. The reason auto turrets in the back is because they're supposed to be for the demolishers. I have some lights, obviously, the tripwires and everything. I showed how to hook that up before. I also have a small little fortified room here with all my power, and I have some places I can pull back. It's a bulletproof glass, so it should take out, or should at least handle some copper vomits. And it's like 3, 4, 5, 6. So even if there is a demolisher or cop exploding, if I'm really far back, I should be just safe, which of course is important. So the general idea of the base is that they will come in here, walk here. Normal zombies will not trigger the blade traps. These are entirely for the demolishers, except for the last 2 ones where, well, obviously all the zombies should be dying. So let me spawn in just a few zombies, and we'll see how it looks for them. Whoops, I forgot. I didn't put in the ramsters. There was no way for them to get up. All right, that's a small thing that can happen. So let me just make sure I open up so that they actually can get in. That's fairly important. Ouch. Okay, so let's restart that and let's see if we can get go on. All right, so now they can come in, and you see, oh, no, don't do that. As you see, they got killed by the auditors if I have it on. Otherwise, they will nicely file up here, and the blade traps will take care of them. The dart traps will also take care of them. And this was 25 feral cheerleaders, and they don't last very long as well. Obviously, they do some damage here, but most of them are just stunned, and yep, no damage here at all. So for normal feral cheerleaders, not an issue. Let me get in 25 of radiated. 25 radiated cheerleaders, and again, oh, that one that triggered. Oh, that's weird. They're coming up here. They would be lasting a little bit longer than the feral, but yeah, you should see them just, let me get rid of this one, just formally just melt, because the output of the dart traps and the blade traps is really high, and they don't really get a standard chance because they get stunned, and that's it. And let's see, the damage is a couple of hundred and 300 there. So that's 25 radiated cheerleaders. Really simple. But what happens when you get in let's get in a demolisher. Okay, so I spawned in 1 demolisher, and I set it to nighttime because otherwise he'll just be walking. and you'll see he's being hit by the blade traps. He's being stunned by the electric fence as well, and he is of course taking damage. He's probably not going to die. And let's see when he comes up here, and pause. Oh, hold on. Okay, so let's see how much damage he has left. He has Demolisher. He's got 277 damage left only, or hit points. So he's practically dead just from walking through here. I think if I had it one longer, he would have been dead, but I don't want to have too many because zombies might have an issue with the pathing then, but one probably would work. But let's do this. He comes in, and he's dead. Let's try one more. Oh, why not? Why not try two more? So, first one comes in, a bust. It's taken in the head. Second one comes in as well. And if you see, these are the only ones that actually trigger the tripwires, and the only ones that is taking the bust damage from the electricity and getting hit by the blade traps. And we are going to... Alright, stop. Oh, well, he was almost dead, obviously. You see him. He's got a little bit more, but he comes in, and then he's dead as well. Can I loot this one? It would be nice if I could loot. He might be in the way. Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, really nice. A nice helmet. Yeah, cool. So, as you see, as they come in, they actually take most of their 1,000 damage from the traps going down to, whether it's 200 or 300. And if you just shoot a couple times, they'll help. But otherwise, when they get up here, they will definitely die because a couple of hundred damage is really fast for these traps to take out. So, we probably have entirely solved the Demolisher problem. Isn't that good? Now, as I said, if you made this one longer, they probably would have always been taken out. But I know that if I was making it again, I probably would have pushed out the walls here and just made another one, or possibly two, just to take out the Demolishers. I mean, there should be space enough to fit that in. But how does it look on the Blood Moon Horde? I mean, that's what we're all waiting for, right? Give me a moment. I will set that up. It's going to be a high game stage, and let me start with 8 concurrent zombies. Now we're here waiting for the Blood Moon Horde to start in just a few minutes. People are asking, if people are asking how I come in, I actually made a secret entrance. So I have a hatch down and just leading off 100 meters or something. I want to make it further than the Blood Moon Horde spawnage, which is about 50, 60 something. So it's the way to get in, because obviously going in here is certain death. And let's see if they're spawning in. Yep, they're spawning in. Vehicle manager saving. So one thing that people were querying was that, isn't the zombies going to dig down from the top or something? That's what they do. And I don't think so. We'll see if that happens, but I really don't think so. Okay, so this is something that can happen. If they actually decide to spawn on top of a high cliff here, they're literally just jumping off, trying to get down here and taking some damage, was really funny. I'm going to restart this and see if I can get one from the front, just so you can see them actually run in and not sort of get stuck up here. Because, even though that's funny, it just takes a lot longer for them to get in. Oh yeah, here they come. And one good thing is that if you stand here, you can take out the cops. But even if you don't, let's say he comes up here. Oh, he's dead. Oh yeah, no, this is perfectly. This is what we want. See, they're coming in, and I think I might have taken more than 8 here. 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. You see, most of them are just coming up here, and you hear, obviously, you have the police, and the police is always an issue. If they come in and they vomit, then they could take out some of these ones. So you want to see if you can shoot them down. And here's one that's gotten a bit lost. I don't know why. You got turned around. As soon as they come up here, there's really no issue with it. And you probably did maybe a little bit of damage to this one. Not a problem. You have a good weapon. Taking out the cops is no issue. And if you see, this is effectively what happened last time. Any that make it up all the way here, and of course they are slowed down. As you notice, they run slower because of they're going through the water. So you have a little bit of an easier time shooting them, especially if you want to get some headshots here. And it also means that you don't have the same pressure on the front. So this one should actually be even easier than last time, because all of these ones are being slowed down. And if they actually make it up here, well, you can always just bash him in the head and bash him in the head. I wanted to see if we could get some Demolishers here, but yeah, it's a little bit too easy. I think he's burning. Yeah, let's not spend too much time here with this 8. Let me start another one with 32 concurrent and we'll see how that one looks. And this Horde is still on high game stage 525 and 32 concurrent. So let's see how that looks when they spawn and make their way in. Definitely should be more than previously, but of course I have extra traps and turrets that I can enable. And here they start coming. See, there's definitely going to be more of them coming in, so let's... Oh, that was... Oh, he died. Okay, never mind. I thought I was a really good shot there. Oh, he started vomiting immediately, so that's always going to happen. I mean, it's really difficult to block off everything. I've been trying to make sure they can't do it beyond what this is. Obviously, more zombies here with 32 concurrent. They still die fairly easily though, and because they're slow moving up through the water, it should be even more manageable. Well, let's see here. They are... This one is, yeah, of course, it's taking some of the reflected damage. Same with this one. These ones, yep, they're taking some reflected damage. But I think ultimately... Alright, let's take out this one, the cops. You don't want the cops to explode because obviously that means that the blade traps might be damaged or even taken out. But even taking these one out are no issue, and standing back here is fairly easy to just to target the cops. And if you notice, yeah, I don't think any of these ones are triggering the electric fence and the tripwire. I think that might have happened once previously when the soldier came in. I think because he was running, I think that was he was a little bit higher than normally, and he's a little bit confused. So let's take him out. You see some of them get a little bit confused, maybe through... Oh, I think the vomiting took out one of these ones. Oh, bad police officer. Don't take out my blade trap. So this one is gone. I think it's when they first come in here and they start vomiting, it directly hits that one in front. But let's turn on the... Oh yeah, so the shotgun turrets are going to town now, which should help to just clear a little bit. I don't think necessarily it's needed, but you know, let's just take them out and let's make sure we are repairing this one. Repair this one. I think this one and this one actually I can repair from where I'm standing. I wonder, the problem is that there's no space in here. I could have probably considered a way where I'm not visible to the cops coming in until they get much further up, because I think that's the issue here. That could have been something that an improvement that can be made, simply to make sure that they don't have any angle on me, because that's what happens. They come in directly and they start vomiting, and as long as that happens, then yeah, they will take out, well, they will damage some of the blade traps, especially in the front, and I think especially the one that they're coming in, because it is in the way. But the rest of them are just melting. I'm hoping we're going to get a Demolisher. Let's see if we can get that. So the vomiting here definitely is an issue with the cops. They are doing more damage to the traps than anything else. Oh, okay, you see Demolishers are coming in. Let's see. They are getting delayed by the electric fences here. And let's see if they're coming back up here. One is almost dead. Yeah, they're definitely getting delayed, and let's take him out. So they might not necessarily get taken out by all the traps, especially if there's so many here, but that's where you help them along a little bit. And let's see if I can repair this one and repair this one. Everything starts running again, and let's get back to some semblance of control. And yeah, I think the cops right now are probably more of an issue than the Demolishers. Interesting. So we solved the Demolisher problem, but yeah, the cops right now, because of the vomiting, is causing a bit of an issue. So let me do a quick change here. Hold on. Let's kill all. it is a little bit of an issue. So I'm going to make a very quick change here. Alright, so what I've done here is effectively, I've built up a wall here so that the zombie cops will not be vomiting at me. And hopefully... see how they... okay, now they're coming in. Hopefully that will help. So let me see if I can switch view here. And disconnect this one here. Okay, so now... oh, these ones are big. Oh, is that because I could be because I'm triggering them myself? Alright, so... they're coming in, and oh, there is some oh yeah, there's definitely some demolishers here. Let's see if they're coming up here, and yep, they are taking the damage. And I think, yeah, as long as you see, as soon as I go out here, the cops start vomiting, and he got triggered right as he was getting killed, which is fine. So this works a little bit better because it means that the zombies will, well, the cops will not be having any vision on the player, and thus will not be damaging it, because it means that you can't see anything at all. I wonder if you switch that out to some other blocks, you can actually make sure you still have vision while being able to hide from the cops. So let's do that again. You can see it like this. Of course, normally you wouldn't be able to, and I think as long as you don't get a demolisher, you're fine. Oh, what happened to the light? Oh, because I'm standing here. Oh, pain. And I think that might have been the Horde, actually. Nope, still coming in. Alright, so I can still repair here, which is good. Still repair here as well, and I think as long as you don't show yourself, I'm pretty good. Now I'm going to try just to switch that out for... let me switch that out for bulletproof glass. I don't know whether they will actually attract the vomit if you're standing behind here, because this would at least give you a pretty good way of checking to see what's happening, so you can go out and do your repairs. And some are definitely being taken out. Some of them are still trying to go out. Yeah, I guess they get confused. I think they come up. Ah, okay, so now he's like, oh yeah, no, there he is. Okay, was that all of the Horde? Nope, there's still some coming. They might be down to the trickle Horde. Okay, good. Now we're getting a nice one. So I am going to reload here. I probably shouldn't be doing that, but he is taking damage, and you see he's slowly moving his way forward. He's getting buzzed. None of the others are. And oh, he actually died. Perfect. So, yep, this is all good. Demolishers definitely get taken out. So the thing is that we want to make sure that the blade traps don't get taken out by the cops. But I think... I'm going to pause the AI here for a moment. Let me just spawn in some cops. Let's do it like that. Let's see, just to confirm that I can stand here without... Alright, see if they're going to come in, or where they are going to be vomiting at me, despite they do. Okay, so this is an issue. Okay, so it's a bit of an issue. So that's a good question. That's a question to you as a viewer. How do you best prevent vision for these cops while still allowing you to actually, well, see what's happening here? And that's interesting. They still want to go through there. It doesn't really matter, because even if they bash that, there's another wall there. It doesn't really hurt. Of course, you want to have them coming up like it does here. But yep, how do you prevent cop vomit and vision while still keeping you safely behind, and so you can see through yourself? I'm not sure where there's any good blocks. You used to be able to use the iron bars. That doesn't work anymore. Okay, let's the last one. We have Demolisher coming in. He is taking all the damage from the blade traps, from the electric fence. Slowly walking in here because he's getting slowed, he's getting hit, and he might even die. And if he doesn't, I'm standing ready here to... Yep, he got shot. And even actually, that's using the... Oh, and actually I didn't show that. let me show that just since before we finish it. Oh, let me not shock myself. Let me bring in a couple of Demolisher. Let's get 2 of them here. All right. As the last one, I didn't even show putting a... Oh, where am I? All right, let me turn on these ones, which are the ones in the back. And let's see if we can get the Demolisher to come in here. So this one is fairly pointless. And yep, that should definitely help. And they're still walking, but they're taking a lot more damage. And the first one is dead. And the second is dead. So turning on these ones as the Demolishers come in is really, really going to be useful because they'll take them out a lot faster. Of course, they will be spending some of the ammo on these regular zombies as well. But these ones, as you see, they die here anyway. Even though some of them get lost before they decide they want to join in and try to attack. So I think we solved the problem with the Demolishers. Not an issue anymore. Now we have a bit of a zombie cop vomit issue where they are vomiting, damaging these ones, especially the ones in the back. How do we resolve that? I would love to hear your suggestions. But otherwise, I think it worked really well. And we have here the Angry Birds best Horde base ever, with some Demolishers coming in. And other people growling. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.